Cherie's World. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a legend in the house. Straight legend.
What? Is somebody behind me? Is somebody behind? What?
The jersey's in the back to tell it all. Mr. Cedric Ceballos is here in Cherie's World.
That's funny.
Real.
That's funny. What's good? How y'all doing? Y'all good?
We good.
Right.
Yes, sir.
No telling where we all are in the world because, videos and everything. But, I hope you're safe wherever you guys are.
We have covered every coast.
Yeah.
Hey, good.
Hey, how you feel about LeBron James wearing your jersey, man? Is that disrespectful or what?
No disrespect at all. It's real funny when every time I see him, he kind of goes, I'm cool. But my thing is this, like everybody was like, yo, did he get permission? And I had posted it up when he had got the jersey, like, yo, he don't have to get, it's not like my jersey is in the rafter. I mean, it's right here, but that's just at the house. It ain't in the rafters, in the Forum. It's not in the rafters in Staples Center. So you don't need my permission to be wearing my jersey, He didn't have to talk to Stu Lance. Stu Lance wore number 23 too. So I figure he's the
Richmond
king.
did too.
Mitch, well, that doesn't count. I mean, Rich did all his work in Sacramento. He did all his work in Golden State. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all talk basketball.
Oh, okay? My fault, Jerry.
Oh.
It's okay. I know people usually like to start and carry the journey out, but I'm like Quentin Tarantino. You know what I'm saying? The past is great, but Seth got a lot of stuff going on right now, and I need to know about it. Now, Cedric, we had a conversation. I'll be watching your Instagram. I'll be watching your Twitter. Now, I know that you came back to Dallas where you already had a relationship because you played. And I don't want to say it wrong because, excuse me, y'all know basketball ain't my thing. I'm a football girl. You came back as an analyst or commentator?
Yeah, both. I came back as an analyst. I did some part-time commentating, but I came back as an analyst. And that was 3 years ago. And then last year, I was hired as vice president. I was one of the vice presidents of the Dallas Mavericks. So it's been a whirlwind. It's been a good ride to coming back. I wouldn't say home, but back to a place where I originally played.
That's your home. Could you come back as vice president? Like, how does that feel?
It's crazy. Like when Sid Marshall, she's our CEO, this is how the story happened. I used to play there, so I knew I was going to have to be there year-round doing my analyst job with Fox Sports Southwest. So I went to the community relations girls. They're about 20, 25 years old. I said, hey, I used to play here. If you guys need me for any community work, no problem, absolutely free. I'm there. I'm all for trying to uplift people and try to help as much as possible. And they gave me a look like, who is this cat right here? And I was like, all right. I knew that look, so I just walked back out the office like they like, who is this cat? I don't even know who he is, or I don't know if they had to Google me or whatever. But that conversation got back to St. Marshall, and about 2 months later, she pulls me aside and says, hey, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, uh-oh, well, I hope I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing I wasn't supposed to be doing. So I came in the office, and she offered me that position, and I was like, all right, I'm getting punked right now, right? Like what's going on? Like, because I didn't apply for the position, nor was I eager to go get that position in the front office. It was just, it's funny. I wouldn't say I'm a super religious guy. I'm not a super Christian, but I just feel like when you do good things, God will take care of you. And I have been walking a wonderful path for so many years and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And a lot of people, after I got the job, was like, yo, that's crazy. How'd you get that job? Blah, 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 woo, woo. But I said, if you look at all my social medias, I don't be posting crazy stuff. I don't be liking, butt cheeks and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get down like that. And that's why, it was easy when that position opened to go ahead and let me fall right into that place, because he placed me there because I've been doing good things and doing, applying myself correctly. People sit at home in the middle of the night and they start pressing buttons and commenting on this and doing that, but they don't realize, the corporate world, people are watching that. They paying attention to that, and they see what you like, and they see what you comment on, and they see what you post, and they put that in their mental Rolodex. And sometimes that could be, a burden to you, because that has happened before with the Washington Redskins. It has happened before with a lot of other organizations about, they having decisions on posting this, or they don't agree with the moves that they're made. and it's kind of tough like that. But I personally just kind of walked the right path, and God kind of just took care of me.
I love that. I'm one of those people who is like liking butts in the middle of the night and liking boobs, you know?
Me too. That explains where I'm at right now.
That's funny, man. That's funny.
I need to hear that.
You just totally schooled me. So your position right now, are you going to be doing any analyst stuff or any commentating stuff this year? Or are you just going to concentrate on being one of the vice presidents of the Mavericks?
Nah. You know, God gave me a big mouth, and so I'm still going to be able to use that. And that was one of the great things about that. The job position that Cent offered me, she allowed me to continue to do what I wanted to do, my passion. I love basketball. I love sports. I got this gift of gab, the way to communicate, because as a young kid in South Central, me and my little knucklehead, well, he's an older brother, but we, you know, that Atari game that came out, when y'all probably too young for that. I mean, you know, y'all might not know about it, but my mom was like, don't hook it up to the big TV, that big floor model.
Oh yeah.
We hooked it up wrong, blew the tube out, and all you can hear was the sound coming out the television. So I got to listen to the Brady Bunch, I got to listen to the Jeffersons, I got to listen to all these shows, and you got to use your imagination. That's why I'm a pretty good storyteller. So that's why I am what I am with this big mouth.
Wow. So Mr. Big Mouth, are you still DJing? Because a lot of people don't know. Ced be traveling. Ced be in Africa. He be in the Bahamas.
Look, I stay on my computer. I stay DJing. It's just a part of me. It's what I grew up on. It was my first love. I fell into this basketball thing just by, again, being in the right place at the right time. But I wanted to be a DJ. I fell in love when B Street came out. And the first song that really took me over the top and made me fall in love with hip hop was African Bambaata's Planet Rock, Soul Sonic Force. I was mesmerized. That just took me. I was all the way upstairs. If y'all know at South Central LA, we got apartments. So I was upstairs in my apartment, windows open because we don't need AC in Cali. We don't need no air conditioning. You know, we letting the breeze through. And a gentleman who was in New York City, he works in New York City during the winter. He brought that album, that 12-inch home, and was playing it one summer after morning. I went down there with my half-cut pajamas on, no shirt on, no shoes, no socks, and was like, sir, what is that you're playing? And he's like, you think that's hope? He flipped it on the other side in the party, people, and I just lost my mind. That's when I fell in love with hip-hop. And from there, Beat Street and watching TV and scrambling up every dollar I could to buy records, to buy turntables, to buy anything that I could that had to do with DJing. So that's what I wanted to do, and I'm always going to do that.
So you hear that. You guys better hire Ced to DJ, but before basketball season, because once basketball season starts, he gonna have
I'm good. I'm still good. I can still hook you up. Anybody want to get down, I'm good.
Really?
And that's where the real money is at right there, man. That DJing.
Yeah. And I keep trying to, all the time. I keep trying to get this whole celebrity battle thing going, but everybody kind of scared of him, like Big Shaq and Eddie George and Marcellus Wiley, all those guys DJ. But I'm like, yo, let's all get together one time and just have a battle. And they like, nah. I say, I don't want to get down with you like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, you know, it is what it is.
Who's calling names?
I'll call them out. I'll call them out. And my thing is this. When it comes to celebrity DJing, I don't think I haven't heard Questlove DJ yet, but I know he's got a mad repertoire of music in his mind. I've heard Biz Markie. I heard Q-Tip. For those that made success in another profession and started DJing, well, I started DJing first, but you know, the opposite way. But I think there's nobody can touch these hands. I think there's nobody that can touch these hands that had success in another profession and then are DJing. So anybody out there that want to holler at me, Questlove, Q-Tip, Shaq, anybody, holler at me. Let's go turntable for turntable and see what's happening.
We might have to host this. Cherie's World might have to host this. I got $100 side bets. I'm ready. I got a on Ced right now. You better make me my money, Ced.
You took it back to the block with the $100 side bet.
Hey, do you think they really be DJing, or do you think they be coming in with the pre-mix stuff already?
It's a lot of pre-mixes, and I don't do that. If y'all
Right.
want to jump on SoundCloud and check out all my mixes, go ahead and do that. I don't do the pre-mixes stuff, the whole hype and that old stuff. All my stuff is real raw, and sometimes it's like that, And I get the performance sometimes. You got to perform that way, but I don't like that. I'm not down on other DJs that do that at all. That's just not my way. That's not the way I grew up on. I'm a crate carrier. That's how long I've been DJing. I started when I was 12. I used to carry crates. So those that have never carried crates, please don't step up. Those that had never carried a crate, do not step up and try to see these hands, because your hands ain't work. You ain't worked enough to get these hands yet.
Now, talking about SoundCloud, it is Leo season. One of my favorite Leos just celebrated his 50th birthday. Happy belated. And for
Thank you very much.
He's giving away mixes.
Oh, happy birthday, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Corey. Yeah, I do that every year. I usually get mixes all around the year, but I always do a birthday mix because people always hit me, thank you, happy birthday. And I hit them back like, thank you. And here go a little party music. You can hang out, with me just a little bit. So it's one of the things that I do every year. I'm going to try to continue to do it as long as I live.
And we were outside. I was with the kids, and we was outside partying. Said you DJ'd in the backyard, boogie over here.
That's sweet. That's why I wanted to do it, so you can all party all over the world. I love this internet thing.
Now,
you know what?
I know you want to talk basketball. I know.
No. I want to talk about the DJing because you sent me one of his mixes, I think 2 weeks ago, and it was a slow jams.
Yeah. I go everywhere. I go everywhere. I don't stop. That's one thing that really pulls me out of clubs. One thing, I don't drink and do all that other crazy stuff. So it's kind of hard for DJs not to have a shot with the promoter, not to have a bottle of champagne with the owner and stuff. I don't really do that. So, most of the time I don't usually get those gigs. And plus, I don't want to be up till 2, 3 in the morning. But my genre of music will go everywhere. I mean, I go from rock, soft rock to slow jams to I'll just blend it all in and try to get, the new, the old, mix it in, whatever I could do. Cause it's just, I love music. I mean, I love music. I love it so much that I think other than missing my family, I hope and pray when I leave this earth that I can take some sort of music with me. Wherever I'm going to go, I just hope I could take some sort of music with me. And I know I can't grab this laptop and, hold it and take it with me, but that sound, that music is just lovely. And I love it. I've been loving it since I was a little kid. I got it from my mom and my grandmother and my aunts, and from them partying. And from ever since then, man, I've just been in love with music.
That's so awesome. Now, not to change the subject, but real quick before I let Courtney get to basketball, because he's been waiting on you all day. Okay, I want to talk about these new companies. For his 50th birthday, he's going to start some new companies, and one is called GWIC. And I actually got the app on my phone.
Yeah. It's the GWIC app. And the GWIC app is the first social media gift carding app. Everybody has either given gift cards or received gift cards. And I have 15 of them in the drawer right now that I forget about all the time.
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity to have it right there on your phone. You can also add some social media content to it. So you can go, hey, Courtney, what's up, bro? I know you're going to the Laker game. Here goes $50 to go to get you some beers up in the Laker Stadium or whatever. And you can send that video to them, and it makes it, a little bit fun. And not only that, when you get to Nike or you get to Foot Locker or you get to Chipotle, and you don't have to worry about those cards in your drawer because they're in your phone. You could just scan it right there on your phone and never have to worry about it. And also, you can re-gift it. So if Courtney ain't a big Laker fan, he can send that stuff over to Cherie, and Cherie can send it over, so you can re-gift all that stuff and make a little fun thing about it.
Hey, this is dope. I'm looking at it right now. This is dope.
It's awesome. Appreciate it. I'm the queen of leaving stuff in my drawer and getting Target and being like, wait, I know I had $75.
Yes.
And the fact that I can just, but I don't leave my phone.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm really excited about that one. And the other one is skin. You started a skincare company for damaged skin. Will it get rid of what I got right here, son?
It will. It will help all that. We have all corner line, all the NB, line as put ourselves in a situation where, and that's funny because they came to me, and I'm not a guy who, the facials and all that stuff. I mean, I take care of my feet and everything, but other than that, I don't get into the oils. I hadn't gotten into that, and they just was like, wait, this dude's about to be 50 years old, skin clean. Let's try to reach out to him. And I said, okay, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna have to do it for our skin and everybody's skin, because obviously we don't dominate the cosmetic market, but we need to make sure our skin is taken care of, because our skin is a little bit different than other skin. You know what I'm saying? So they was more than happy to do the research and did that. And also for us, men court, it's not like a situation where we're looking real feminine and getting our diva on, nothing like that. It's really taking care of it, really cleaning it, really cleansing it, regrowthing it. Like you said, Cherie, you trying to take care of those zits, those things, situations like that, because, especially in our community, we don't really, the way we wash our face, the way we grow up washing our faces is a little bit different than everybody else's. So, and the way we tolerate sun and outside and cold conditions, and so everybody always got some Vaseline and some chapstick somewhere, somehow, and I wanted to make sure that this is taking care of all skins too.
And I mean, I'm almost mid-40s, and I have like adult acne, and a lot of mine is brought on from makeup, and that happens to me by work hazard, is wearing makeup. So I don't know how you chicks is doing it, but you need to go out and get you some nourishingbotanicals.com and find out what Mr. Cedric Ceballos got for your face.
nourishingbotanicals.com, and go check it out. And I tell you, especially you talking about the women with the makeup.
Yes.
The difficult thing is, like, either they done went out and had a good time, maybe a little tipsy, and they get lazy and like sleepy, like, I don't want to take this off. As soon as they jump in the shower before they go to bed, they can apply it, get all that makeup off, get it all out the way, and then go to bed, really cleanse and have that clean face, and not worry about waking up in the morning and next to you somebody like, who is this? Like, it's still gonna keep you nice and vibrant.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. A lot of people need that too, for real.
Yeah.
What's it like working with Mark Cuban, and does he have any stock tips?
You know what I'm saying? I'll be we next to him all the time trying to get them tips, man. This guy is, first things first, I was there when he bought the team. Ross Perot Jr. was the owner of the Mavericks at the time, and he bought the team from there. And we knew Mark Cuban by face. He sat about, on our bench side, he sat about six seats from us, and always yelled at the ref. The same way he is now, he was the same way. He yelled at the refs, and he didn't own the team. He just was a sports guy, and really cool. We would see him out about town. Didn't know his name, didn't know what he did, didn't know if he had money, if he didn't have money. If you approached the guy, you wouldn't even know if he was a billionaire or not. I mean, he's a jean guy, old sneakers, have a T-shirt on. He hates to put on a suit. He does it on Shark Tank because they make them, but he doesn't really like to put on suits and heel shoes and dress suits. And when they said the new owner is coming in the locker room, he want to introduce himself. He walked in, and myself, Michael Finley, Nash, we all started dying laughing, like, no way, like, you cannot believe this guy. I mean, he's always rooting for us, but to know that he had enough money and enough knowledge to get this deal done, we were just happy for him, but we knew that we was getting a really cool owner. And then when he started to really ask the players, what they need, what they want in a team, how they want their owner to act, and this, that, and other. And myself, Nash, Dirk, we always say, man, we want an owner that has our back. I mean, no offense to Ross Perot Jr. and the rest, but the owner before, Big Mr. C, he would always be at the games, rooting us on. We have a bad loss, he'd come in there and like, oh man, don't worry about, pick yourself up. I mean, that's somebody you want to work for. That's somebody you want to ride. You want to ride with, you want to die with, you want to try to win a championship, go the extra mile for. And that's what he does. I mean, he's just a guy who loves sports. Now he has an opportunity to buy his own team. He wanted to do that. I heard he's looking for to maybe go baseball next. Who knows? But it's really cool working for him. He has, we just redid the offices, the Mavs office, and you would think that a guy that's of his stature and the league and our team, that everybody would be in these exclusive offices, but it's just a bunch of desks everywhere. No cubicles, none. It's just a bunch of desks everywhere. Really Silicon Valley-ish. Like if you was to go into one of these rent a office spaces, and that's the Mavs office. He wants everything to be relaxed. You want to be comfortable. He wants you to not be afraid to walk up to the owner of this organization and say, "Hey, I have a suggestion." Okay, well, let's sit down. Look at this. He always advertises, not only on social media all the time, but he always advertises his email. And when you email him, I'm talking like a Joe Blow. You email him, and within a day, unless he's on vacation, he emails you back. It's 30 teams in the league. I don't know if you can get that. And I know most of the owners. I can't get that fast response from anybody. And these are just fans and people around town that just hit him up real quick. And sure enough, he'd be like, "Oh, that's a pretty good suggestion. Thanks for, and have a little conversation with him." So really cool guy. He's down to earth, just a big fan, and loves his sport, loves his team, and is eager to try to help anybody. And like you said, Court, I'm trying to get some stock tips from the brother too, man.
For real. Hey, that's crazy because as we speak, I'm behind on all of Cherie's World's podcast emails right now. And Mark Cuban's responding in 24 hours.
Yeah.
What's my excuse?
Come on, Court, step it up, B.
Man, for real.
I'll help, Court. I'll help too.
Hey, so I want to I've been a big fan of yours. Like,
appreciate that.
Before I knew any of this, like I'm always amazed by the people that she knows and stuff. So like, it's an honor to meet you, first of all, just to even say that for real. So the one thing, you were in the slam dunk contest, and I never forget what you did. The blindfold.
Right.
And the blindfold. Right.
Right. That's funny. That's funny that you did this right here, because that wasn't me. That was D Brown. Let me give you a little history on that. We both came out together, 1990, and they have a senior classic in Orlando, Florida. And me and D are in the slam dunk contest with some other people. And every dunk that D did, including pump his shoes up, I beat him in the senior classic.
Dang.
So the way the NBA works, if you're not playing, you don't get to participate in the 3-point and in the dunk contest and all that other stuff. So he went to Boston, and Boston was trashed in. I went to Phoenix, and we made the playoffs, and we were a positive team. So I didn't get to play. He's a lottery pick. He got to play all the time. So he got to be in the dunk contest, and I didn't. So I'm sitting at home going, wow, there go my money. There go my endorsements right there. He just taken every dunk that I did to him. He took it, but he got on the bigger stage. Now, I'm not sitting here in the boast and brag and try to down what he did. He did an unbelievable job. But I'm like, okay, I got to go back to the lab. I got to get my game up where I get some minutes on the court so I can, because I know he's going to try to defend his championship next year. I got to come with something different. And it just so happens that Magic had retired, and we're playing the Lakers, and he was working out because he got voted to start in the All-Star game. And, Magic was like, yo, say what's up there? D came with you. You're going to have to bring him, you're going to have to go all the way blind on him, baby. And so I was like, blind on him. So I went back to Phoenix, started working on it. It wasn't looking real positive. Trust me. It was looking real bad. I think I made like 2.5 of them, out of about 3,000 attempts. It wasn't looking real good. So to be honest with you, we were thinking about doing some. We talked to the NBA about it, and we were going to do a blooper. We were going to do a blooper of this dunk. So if I had got eliminated, they were going to allow me to do this dunk, and I was supposed to miss and fall and pretend like I hurt myself. And the mascots were supposed to run out with the stretcher, and they pick up the basketball instead of picking me up, and then they run off with the basketball, and it's supposed to be like that. But if you watch the video, after I made the dunk, I'm holding on to the backboard like, this wasn't part of the program. You know what I'm saying? I hold on and go, there go God working again. And, and even to this day, it's been 25, 30 years later, like you said, people still talking about the dunk. So an opportunity presented themselves, and I let go and let God, and he took care of everything else.
Now, I'm from Chicago, and I kid you not, it was about 3 or 4 months ago. I was me and my buddy we argued. I'm gonna shout him out. My boy Boo, he was signed to Young Money with Lil Wayne, and we argue all the time about basketball. And I said, if Cedric Ceballos would have played in the NBA Finals, I mean, the Bulls only won. They won in Game 6 by Paxson's shot.
Right.
So you can't tell me that the game was going to go to a game. It wasn't going to go to a Game 7. If Cedric Ceballos would have played, he laughed me off. Said, "You crazy." Cedric Ceballos wasn't going to do nothing with Jordan, Pippen. If the Phoenix Suns went 6 games and Paxson had to hit a game winner for them to win in 6, you telling me Cedric Ceballos wouldn't at least took it to 7?
Yeah. Well, Michael Jordan. Let's not discredit Mr. Michael Jordan. Averaging 45 in that tournament, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Still sets a record. But if you check my police record against Scottie Pippen, I'm averaging like 30 and 12 against him.
I tried to tell him.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how Superman would have went to 50 points or more than he did, but I give Scottie problems. And Dirk Nowitzki retired this season, and Scottie came out to surprise him, and we start talking about that in the back because Charles was back there, Larry Bird, Sean Kemp, Detlef Schrempf. We was all back talking, and I was like, Scottie, I know you got that ring, but you know what I'm saying? I used to give you numbers. Like, no matter who I played or who I was playing for, my numbers was nice against you because Scottie was a great defender on the ball, and I never went one-on-one. I just caught the ball and finished. I was just a mover, a slasher, and a finisher. Yeah. So I don't know if we'd have won because of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, but I know it would have been maybe a different outcome if I'd have gone on that court.
Thank you so much for being here just to answer that, Cedric, because he started asking me a couple months ago after they had this fight, and I was like, I don't know. He was like, you don't remember that game? I was like, I don't know.
That is true. That is true. Hey, so you played with Barkley, though, and I heard that Cuttino Mobley said.
No. Barkley played with me.
Oh, my bad, because you was there first. You're right. Hey, you're right. You was there first. He came to your team.
That's right.
That's right. But you were a couple years younger than Barkley, and I heard Cuttino Mobley say when he played with Houston with Barkley, I think Barkley's nickname for him was Idiot or Dumbo or something like that. Did Barkley ever have a nickname for you?
No. Barkley, he probably did that for the young guys, and he was on his way out. He didn't really joke around as much with the youngsters because he really wanted to win. When he was in Houston with Cuttino, that's Scottie Pippen himself, Eddie Johnson, Hakeem Olajuwon. That's an unbelievable squad. So I think he was just giving the youngsters a little hard time on that situation. But no nicknames for me. He did take me out in training camp, like totally illegal foul, flagrant foul, took me out the air after I was trying to dunk on him. The whole team jumped on him. But other than that, after me getting up and getting in his face, he was like, "Oh man, I kind of respect you for that." Because
why would he do that to his teammate? Why would he do that?
He was trying to, he said he was trying to test his team, to see what kind of team it was. Was we gonna let him just walk over us because he's outrageous and he's big bad Barkley and whatever he says goes, and he knew he wasn't gonna be able to win with a squad that was just gonna allow him to do that to a teammate. And the other teammates not step up and be like, man, you wrong for that, or get in his face. So I think that's what he was trying to do. And I don't know, why I'd happen to be that particular person or at that time. But, we were playing defense on the other end. I was guarding him. I blocked his dunk. And then on the other end, I tried to dunk on him, and he just took me out. So I think he was trying to test me. And then after he explained it that way, I think everybody kind of understand exactly what he was trying to do.
Cherie, let me tell you how dope that team was. They had Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley, Cedric Ceballos, Barkley, Mark West, Oliver Miller.
Yes, sir.
Danny Ainge. Man, y'all had a squad, man, for real.
And my partner in crime, Richard Dumas.
How could I forget? That boy was bad. Yeah, that boy was bad. That boy had some defense on him, too. Man, how can I forget him? Y'all had a squad, man. Hey, do you ever get mad at Barkley because y'all not on NBA 2K because Barkley?
Yeah, no, we're not really mad at them. It is what it is. They still, with the NBA bargaining agreement, collective bargaining agreement, it doesn't matter if we were on or not. We still get the same check everybody else does. So.
Okay, cool.
That's when you were playing at the Suns, right? Look, I'm on late to the conversation, but I'm like, hey, I knew Big O,
Yeah. Yeah.
Man. Yep. Cherie, I got a whole bunch of more stuff to talk to. You sure you don't want to get in here?
I mean, go ahead. You got basketball. I told you. I'm going to go back to because, I was a Cedric Ceballos fan too, but I was like, I like the rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Gut blows.
So you a rapper?
He was. You ain't seen his videos? He got music videos.
I got to see it.
He got songs. Yeah. We're going to play one at the end of the show.
Okay.
I'm telling you. I'm sending a video. We're going to put it into the clip and everything.
Okay.
I don't mean to try to explain what happened was, but, I'm a hood kid. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I love music. And that's a big dream, to have an opportunity to write songs, and everybody in the hood kind of raps, but to actually put it on wax and be in the studio and all that. And I was just in awe. I mean, it was the first song that I had already had songs before that, but the first song that actually was put out on a record, with myself and Michael Henderson. I don't know if y'all remember Michael Henderson, R&B singer. He had the Wide Receiver song and Close to You and all that. Yeah, so I had a song with him, a local song that I did with Phoenix, so that was unbelievable. And then when I went to LA, I got to team up with Warren G, a kid that I knew, growing up and was a big fan of, which was sweet. And that was for charity with the Basketball Best Kept Secret. So myself, Shaq, Gary Payton, my boy Chris Mills, Jason Kidd, Brian Shaw, Isaiah Ryder, man, on and on and on. Dana Barrows, we all got on this album to try to, to help our own selective charities. And I loved it.
Like, you think I'm joking when I say the rapper? Like, I had a Toyota Camry, the XLE gold package. You know what I'm saying? I had my CD player popping, and Cedric Ceballos was in my CD player, and I was rolling the shop. You know what I'm saying? And I was bumping, you know me.
It's crazy. I mean, for a West Coast kid to get the regulator on a track, you know what I'm saying? And let's not get it twisted. Everybody on that album besides Dana Barrows and myself had somebody else write for him. I wrote my whole song, my hook. I wrote Warren's parts. Warren supplied the track. And so, that's what made me proud. I got to record it in the Hit Factory that Michael Jackson and Biggie and everybody, and all the famous people, they all recorded in the Hit Factory. So it was just an honor to me. I got to sign the wall. I don't know if it's still up there or not, but not too many people could say they got down in the Hit Factory and with everything going on. And then we after we recorded it and we brought it back to Los Angeles to mix it down, MJ was in the next studio going, oh, that's kind of funky. So I was like, oh shit. Oh, I don't know if I was supposed to file.
Yeah, you can cuss me good.
That's how it was. Like, oh, Michael said I had a cool little song. I was like, it might have went double cardboard, you know what I'm saying? So we recycled it, but it's all good, a dream is fulfilled. So
it's major and unforgettable to me. Yeah. Like when somebody says, I mean, I know you play basketball and everything, and that's cool, but when somebody says Cedric Ceballos, I'm like, yeah, how music takes you back to a good time and a good place in your life?
Yes.
That takes me back to a good time and a good place, and all I can do is smile.
Yes, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's and I, like I said, you all know how I love music, and that's how I feel all the time when I hear music. It just marks the sign of time. Like I know exactly where I was, and I can taste the Kool-Aid on my lips, or drinking water out the fountain in the front yard, and all that stuff. When you hear music, it's wonderful what it does to you.
Out the water hose. Okay, you can go back to basketball now. I'm gonna go back to basketball too, but at the end, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what? But before I go back to the basketball, Cherie is talking about how big of a fan she is of your work. Were you a fan of Cherie?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I don't want to go take her back to Punky Brewster days, but it is what it is, and then just continue to go on. And I just love her story on how you just overcome so much, because your industry is crazy. I mean, I dabbled a little bit. You might see me in Living Single and Jamie Foxx, and I should have got an Oscar in Space Jam. I mean, I killed it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about Bugs Bunny and them, but I kind of killed it in Space Jam. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody could have played me like me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna throw that out there to the Academy. Give me my Oscar.
I forgot all about that. You're right.
That's how I know these guys, okay? Because we were on the Warner Brothers lot, and they were working on Space Jam, and I was doing Family Matters, and then Ced did Living Single, and I was on Family Matters. So that's how I met Big O, Marcus Canby, Cedric Ceballos. I caught a little glimpse of Jordan. You know what I'm saying? But that's how all these guys gave me a time of day. I was like 12, but I was in awe,
Yeah.
Wow.
And
I got some skills, but like I said, your industry, it really doesn't, sometimes it doesn't matter if you have skills. It's just right place, right time. And then the opportunities for the connections, because my man John Singleton, rest in peace. I've always, came in and read for him, and he's like, "Said, you the bomb, man, but you too tall. I don't have no co-stars that are your size." And to be honest with me and tell me that, you know what I'm saying, instead of be like, "Oh man, you're great, we'll call you," and then my mind is just going playing tricks, and that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm so. I really praise and honor how you continue to, stay in the industry, because it's, you don't get that honesty from sometimes. It just so happens I was getting it from somebody I knew who grew up in the same hood that I grew up in, and he was a successful filmmaker, and he would just break it down to me like, you look around, man, all these stars, they're
2'2".
They're 2'2", and I
have issues getting jobs sometimes because Kevin Hart. I didn't get a job because of Kevin Hart, and I told Kevin, get on the damn Apple box and let the girl work.
That's right.
He didn't think it was too funny, but yeah, I'm tall for a girl, and I'm only like 5'7".
Yeah, so that's
considered tall in the industry.
Yeah, because these dudes was like 5'5".
Yeah, like like she said, Kevin and Tom Cruise. I mean, them dudes is midgets, man. I mean, no pun intended. I know I'm not supposed to use that word. It's not politically correct, but them cats is small, and you just be like, golly, like standing next to me trying to shoot a shot. It'd be like I'm up here and Kevin's right here. Like I even got an Instagram little post when we were at Kobe's retirement of Kevin, and I'm like goofing around with him. Like, Kevin, where you at? And he's like, bring the camera down. And it's like, and that's the industry part of it, man. But
bigger than men. But you heard Cedric Ceballos say, and I have to use both of his names, Cedric Ceballos, that he kind of likes the acting thing. I've been trying for years. And I just want to get you on record saying, they give me some money, they give me the opportunity, said I can get you to co-star with me, right? Because I don't mind standing on the couch or being on some Apple shot with you.
No problem. I'm with it. You heard it here first. Cherie's World.
Said, I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't feel sorry for you at all for being 6'8". If you can't, hey, I wish I was 6'8". So, hey, I don't feel sorry for you for being.
No problem, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something though. So since we talking about LA, so you got traded to the Lakers, or you actually went there as a free agent? I forget.
Yeah, I got traded to the Lakers. For a draft pick, which ended up being Michael Finley, and we ended up being teammates together in Dallas, and we work on the same staff now and with the Mavericks too as well.
I did this camp one time. I'm from Chicago, so I did this camp.
Yes, sir.
A couple years ago. So
Maywood in the house.
Maywood, there you go. Yeah. So when you got to LA, then all of a sudden Magic comes out of retirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? Just like all of a sudden Magic comes out, because they moved him to power forward or small forward, and you were the small forward.
No, he was point guard or power forward.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He never really took away none of my minutes or nothing like that. Like I played with a big guy, first coming into the league, I played with Kevin Johnson, Tom Chambers. They're pretty good all-stars, get a little fame, when we go on the road trips, a little that and the other. And then Charles Barkley comes, and then it gets real crazy, you know. But he's a little outrageous at times. So, you know, his particular fan base is, you know, a booer, you know, because, you know, he always says, you know, people come to see me. They come to boo me or they come to cheer me, but they're going to come to see me. And this is the fact of the matter is. And he rolled with that, just like you see him now on television. People, you know, they wait to hear him say something outrageous or crazy, you know. And they, you know, so that was cool. But then when Magic came back, oh, my God. I mean, when they say rolling with the Beatles, it's, oh, my God. I mean, everywhere we went, you know, just crazy. Let's back it up a little bit. When I got to the Lakers, it's the only organization that I know I have been a part of that where it's only one place we got booed when we ran out the tunnel, and that was Boston Garden. Everywhere else, it was cheering. I was like, what is going, like, we are in Golden State right now. Why is everybody, we are in Minnesota right now. We are in Utah. Like, why is everybody cheering? Like, that's how big that organization was, you know, and Magic was a big part of that. So when he came back, oh my God, it just was bananas, man. And you try to take as little bit as you can from him. You just, you know, you creeping around the corner like, is he talking a big deal right now? Like, what kind of power moves is he making? You know what I'm saying? You see his work ethic. You see his concentration, his focus. You try to absorb all that in because we didn't know how long he was going to try to play. And you just try to take bits and pieces from the greatness, and hopefully a little bit of it wears out on you. But as far as star power, man, that, you know, and even to this day, he went on record for saying that Kobe was the biggest Laker ever, and I stopped that. I mean, I played with Kobe. Kobe's unbelievable, but if these two individuals walked into a room, the place would go crazy for Magic. I mean, the dude is just. Yeah. I mean, he's a ball of fun. He smiles all the time. He helps so many people out. You know, even if he had any bad inclination of the guy, he makes you feel so good about yourself that you know you forget about it. But Magic is just
my first movie.
Yeah, I mean he's Magic. I mean, they named that kid right when he was in Lansing, Magic. I mean, he's just, even to this day, he's just so magical, and you know. So I in my book, Magic is the ultimate Laker, and probably will always be for the rest of his life.
That is really sweet. Now, I have to say, you talk about somebody who does the work and has stayed out of trouble. I'm really proud of you. I kind of grew up with a lot of you guys. You have kept your nose clean. We don't hear about any problems with you. There's never been any groupie stories or anything floating around about Mr. Ceballos, and you still do these children's camps.
Right.
Being a mentor to all these young boys or young men, what are you putting in their ear that is keeping all your kids out of trouble?
Well, first things first, I'm a real advocate of sports, because there's not a job in this world that you're going to work by yourself. So a team environment can help you out so much. So whether that's, you know, taekwondo or swimming or basketball or baseball, what have you, it's always a team thing that you have to work together. So that makes it easier when you get older and you have to work in the workplace, that you can work with others. You know, I love the fact that, you know, you get all different kind of coaches. You get ones that yell. You get ones that are emotional. You get ones that are encouraging, because you may get that and encounter that in the workplace. Now, I don't want to touch on this subject, but, you know, all this craziness that's going on with these mass shootings and all this other, I wonder if these individuals were sports players, because it teaches you to deal with adversity, calm yourself down, and calm down and bring it down a notch to where these tragedies will probably not happen. And I continue to work with kids because, you know, I was taught that whatever was given to you, you have to also give it back. And don't get me wrong, I was not the all-American everything. My story, if you really get deep down into it, you know, I'm writing a book and also doing a documentary on it now. I didn't play in high school. I got varsity my last year. I sat the bench until somebody got hurt the last 6 games. And then, you know, again, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then God just cracked. The door was always cracked for God to come in and do something great for me. In the last 6 games, I'm averaging 20, 25 and 12 rebounds. And everybody's like, where does this kid come from? No scholarships offered, none of that. Just went to school on my own dime. got an opportunity, to switch from working at Taco Bell to get a job on campus, and one thing led to another, and now all of a sudden, it's just a overwhelming thing. But it's about, and I teach this all the time, it's about being able to communicate and work with others, and then never doubting your abilities, because you might be a very talented person on a stacked team. You know what I'm saying? You might be a very talented person on a stacked team, and it's just not your time yet. So that don't mean just throw it away. You know what I'm saying? If you're the last guy on the bench, like, I don't want to play this game no more, or I never get any lead roles, I don't want to act no more, or I'm always the opener if I'm a comedian, I never get to close the show, I'm not going to be a comedian anymore. No, just the people that are in front of you, they may be in a better situation than you right then, but just keep striving, and then you might get yourself there. You might put yourself in a position where, something happens. It just so happened to me. Every time I was doing what I was supposed to be, somebody got hurt. In high school, somebody got hurt, and I got to play. In junior college, somebody got hurt, the best players, I got to play. When I got to the pros, somebody got hurt, and I got to play. So it's just being prepared, and not letting your mental get you in a place where you want to give up or quit.
Amazing. I love you, because I look on social media and I go to said something stupid because I never have anything important to say. He's giving away bicycles,
Yeah.
A whole bunch of children.
Yeah.
Like, you're always on the move, always doing something, and it's always about kids. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a South Central kid, and my foundation, the Cedric Ceballos Foundation, is about that. And I think that we encouragement. Now, don't get me wrong. I do a lot for adults too. Like we have homeless block parties, and what that is, we can go over. I can go over you guys' house and go in the backyard and cook up and play some music and dance a little bit. But as much as everybody helps the homeless with clothes and hands them a bag, that experience of a backyard boogie is not really existent, because they don't really have, the whole world is kind of their backyard. So I bring entertainers, I bring music, I DJ, I bring the grills, I bring the fryers, I cook it right there in front of them. I hand it out. We hand out over 400 or 500 meals, and we're doing the cha-cha slide and the Cupid shuffle, and it's just for 3-4 hours that their mind can leave their homelessness and just become normal. You know what I'm saying? For 3 or 4 hours, and we give away clothes and all that. That's great. But I think more importantly, it recharges them to go, you know what, let me work my way back to getting there. And when we feed the homeless, it goes from, people who have just gotten out of jail trying to rehabilitate themselves, to doctors that work every day, 9 to 5 as a doctor, but either a divorce or something, or alimony or child support has gotten them to where they're homeless, but they still go to work every day, but they're living on the street. So you get all kind of different situations, when we take care of the homeless, and that's really tough. And our next project that we've been working on, I don't mean to jump right into it, but we're talking about my foundation. I'm getting a little hyper. Is Enough Enough program. We have, you guys heard about the water in Flint, Michigan, and my guy Derek Coleman has been an advocate of that, trying to go on. But it's hitting home for me, because I went to high school in Compton, and the Compton water is brown too. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I teamed up with this cause called Enough is Enough, to where we can clean this water up. I got an opportunity to jump with a water program, to buy these opportunities for homes, because it's 66,000 homes in Compton, and so far it's up to, I think, 13,000 homes that are being affected, and it's growing. So I'm trying to take care of, I'm used to getting that water out the hose in the front yard on a hot summer day in Compton, and the kids can't do that, and they're paying for water. They're paying for this water in Compton, so why not have that water clean? So I'm trying to raise hopefully enough units, money to buy enough units to give them a chance to have clean water too, to not let it get out of control. Because the water in Flint, I talked to Derek the other day. He said it's still bad, it's still contaminated, and it's just moving out. And it's enough is enough. Like let's get clean water. Like if we can't have anything, you know what I'm saying? Let's try to take care of the water and make sure it's clean.
Amazing. I love your heart. I don't know where it comes from. It's God-given. I'm so thankful for it, for everybody. Go ahead, Courtney, before we got to let him go.
Yeah. Can you talk about, because you work with the Mavericks, can you talk about other teams and free agency and stuff now?
Yeah, I
don't want to get you in trouble like Magic.
No. This is an open time that we could talk for. So it's not like I'm trying to recruit somebody, but I can give you opinions and what I think, because like I said, I'm still an analyst, but I know what I cannot and cannot say. And it's funny, when I got the job, they had a situation where the officials, they were talking about a call or something that was made by the official that wasn't made, or this, that, and the other, and asked me to comment on it. And I was like, I kind of like $25,000. I don't think I'm gonna comment on that right there. So, so it's certain things that I can't say, but especially when it comes to officiating, especially when it comes to deals that have not been made official yet, but the ones that have been done, yeah, I could talk about it. So go ahead, man. Holla.
Okay, well, I don't want to keep you because I could talk to you for another hour and a half. But all right,
I can go. I can go.
No.
You're gonna ask me all about you and all about basketball. I'll be like, I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna
you
try
wouldn't understand. It's a hoop thing. You wouldn't understand.
For real. Yeah. For real. I was good, Cherie, to my junior year. Then everybody grew taller than me, so that's why I don't got no love for being 6'8". But anyway, what do you think about all the super teams? The way the NBA is set up now. I mean, because technically the Phoenix Suns, y'all was damn near a super team. And then even when you were in LA, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, y'all was like, I mean, it wasn't a super team, but it was a loaded team. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about that?
I when I played, that team that you're talking about, that Laker team was put together by Dr. Buss and the wonderful Jerry West. The logo, he's not the logo for no reason. That guy is brilliant when it comes to basketball, and you're seeing what he's doing with the Clippers. Myself, Eddie Jones, All-Star. Nick Van Exel, All-Star. Kobe Bryant, All-Star. Eldon Campbell could have been an All-Star. Big Shaq, All-Star. Then Derek Fisher. I mean, but that was all put together towards draft, and then convincing Shaquille to come.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So only really recruiting he had to do was Shaquille. Everybody else was through the draft or trade, So we had no control. I love the fact that the super teams are controlled by themselves. That LeBron and AD and Chris Paul and everybody is calling everybody and say, hey, man, let's do this. Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and LeBron, they put that super team together. Everybody's like, oh, man, it's a super team. The Lakers had that back in the day. Kareem, Worthy, Magic, AC Green, Byron Scott. They all made the All-Star team 5. Their whole starting 5 made the All-Star team in 1 year. So Larry Bird had his with the McHales and the Parishes and Dennis Johnson. But the difference was they had to go. Dennis Johnson was traded to Boston. Robert Parrish was traded to Boston. James Worthy was picked by the Lakers. Magic was picked by the Lakers. Kareem had, he was unbelievable, so he got his option to go where he wanted to go from Milwaukee. But the players didn't have so much control. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, don't be so hard on the players, because for years we didn't have that control. Our super team, like you're saying with the Suns, Marley's through the draft. Ainge was through a trade. Barkley was through a trade. I was through the draft. Dumas was through the draft. Oliver Miller was through the draft. Mark West, KJ came to us from trades. They had to come. Only person that had some sort of freedom was Charles, who demanded a trade, and Philadelphia gave him a list of teams that they would trade him to. So he went through the thing like, okay, Phoenix Suns, that would be the best place. But now these guys are getting their own freedom, and that's great, because you got to think about it. Those that work in the corporate America, you got an opportunity to leave this corporation and go to this corporation. That freedom wasn't allowed to us. We couldn't get up and leave and go knock on this corporation's door and say, hey, you guys want my services. That wasn't allowed. So as much as Michael Jordan and Isaiah and Magic, they like, man, I would have never left my team. I would have never joined up with Michael. They couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. It wasn't allowed. They didn't allow that much freedom. So this is a more opportunity of freedom. Now you got to remember, we didn't have cell phones then too. So if Magic called Isaiah and Isaiah wasn't home, you know, he wasn't home.
That was it.
So now, you know, I can, you know, somebody can text LeBron. LeBron can text D-Wade. They can Snapchat. They can put on Twitter. They can go, you know, there's so many other avenues that they could communicate with each other that we didn't have before. You know, when I got in the league, cell phones were just starting out. They were just starting out. So, you know, you got Magic in them, you know, they wasn't in the cell phones. It was like, and then look, even private jets. You know, that's the money is so large now that they jump on jets just to go hang out with dudes. Like Carmelo just jumped on a jet from New York to LA just to work out with Chris Paul and LeBron, just to work out. Like, like me as a kid, I got to take the number 7 bus downtown. And so, you know, it's a different era. It's a different opportunity. The money is much larger. So I'm all for guys getting together and putting together their own teams and playing who they want to play with. You know, it just wasn't allowed back then. And this is a player's time. And I love Michael and Larry and Magic and Dr. J for all the work that they put in to allow me, you know, this will be my 30th year coming up in the NBA, which is, you know, more than half my life. You know, that's 20. I only spent 20 years without the NBA in my life. And the 30 years has been all NBA. It's because of guys like that who fought for, you know, we want more collective bargaining agreement. We want this. Just like I said before, you know, Courtney, you asked me about, am I upset that Barkley won't allow us to be in 2K? Nah, because I get the same check as Michael Jordan. You know, I get the same check as Scottie. I get the same check as LeBron. I get the same check as everybody else because of guys like Magic and Dr. J was like, yo, we all share this thing. Yes, I am the bigger superstar than Cedric Ceballos, you know, being Michael Jordan and Dr. J and Magic, but I want them to reap all the benefits because they all know, and Michael Jordan is a big testament, I can't win or be better without other individuals. This is not an individual sport, you know, hats off to Venus and Serena. They play tennis. Obviously, they have coaches and people who egg them on, but that's just them out there. That's just Tiger out there, you know. But with basketball, Michael can't play 1-on-5 and win a championship. He needs 4 other individuals and people coming off that bench and a good coaching staff. So the opportunity for them to reward everybody in the league for being in the league is just great.
This is my last question until the next time you come back on. Something trending this week. I don't know if I know you saw it. The Rich Paul rule. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that?
I haven't got the particulars on the Rich Paul rule. If you could explain it to me right now, I'll give you my honest opinion. But I didn't get all the particulars on it, but I saw it.
Cherie, you know who Rich Paul is?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Rich Paul is LeBron James' agent, right? Agent. And Rich Paul, LeBron actually just met him growing up. And when LeBron signed in the NBA, he brought Rich Paul along and just said, I will sign with this agency if you guys let him be an intern so he can be an agent eventually. Once his internship was up, LeBron left that agency, and I think it was CAA, and then made Rich Paul his agent. And Rich Paul never went to college, doesn't have any degrees or anything like that.
Not an attorney or anything?
No.
It's a little piece he's leaving out. LeBron sent him on a mission. You know, like the Mormons go on their mission. He sent them on a mission during that internship. Like, you know, go sit down with the rich, and the super rich to figure out how we can make this thing large. You know, it's not like he just like, okay, you sit back, relax, and I'm not going to help you out. You figure it out. And then Rich Paul figured it out. He put him in, situations where Bill Gates, what's the other quadrillionaire that's out there? He put him in situations where he can learn from some of the richest businessmen in the world.
Wow. Yeah, no, I had no clue. I was like, Rich Paul, I don't think he's a designer.
Close. Well, it's the NCAA. Well, now Rich Paul, of course, has LeBron James, and he has Anthony Davis. He has Ben Simmons, a host of other top-notch guys, and Draymond Green. And the NCAA this week or last week just put a new rule in that I think last year they made the rule where players can go test out the draft, and if they don't make it, they can come back to college.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was last year. So this year they said you can still do that, but you can't talk to an agent that doesn't have a college degree. So LeBron James heard about that and went straight to Twitter and said, "You can't stop, won't stop. You're not going to stop this movement. Stay woke. Hashtag the Rich Paul rule," because Rich Paul has turned into like the biggest agent in the NBA.
Right.
So that's what everybody's talking about now. This is the Rich Paul rule. The conspiracy theorists in the NBA says that the NCAA is trying to block Rich Paul from advancing. I just want to know what you thought about that. I got my own opinion on that. I don't think it's necessarily true, but see what you think about that.
Yeah, that's nonsense. It's ridiculous. And this is how I feel about young players leaving. If they're old enough to fight in the war, they're old enough to go get $1 million in basketball. Like, why are you stopping them from? If they can go work at Taco Bell, they used to have this. No offense to Taco Bell. I'm not trying to bash Taco Bell here, but what I'm saying is they used to have this. You need a work release or a work permit.
Yes, a work
something
permit.
that your parents sign that says okay for you to work. Now, what's wrong with that? If you're 14, 15 years old, you get that, and because they're all they're all working for these fast food restaurants, and they have young kids working on them, especially during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Just because their salary is between $10 and $17 an hour, does that make that any different? That somebody else's salary is $100 million or whatever? You're putting a dollar amount on that, and that's wrong, because you can, like I said, if you're 14, 15-year-old, you can go down the street and work at the corner store, and it's not a problem. It's the fact that these inner city kids are making all this money, and everybody's trying to skip over. Now, there's enough kids. NCAA, listen to me. There is enough kids to supply great basketball in the NCAA. There is enough kids out there that will play great basketball that may not go pro their first, second, or third year, but it will be some decent basketball. I mean, the Final Four is bananas, because everybody wants to watch this one and done situation. It's the only tournament like that you go, and if you lose, you going home. And with the NBA, you got to lose four times to get out to eliminate it. This is one game. You got 20-minute half, 2 20-minute halves to do what you got to do to advance, to survive and advance. So the system that you put together, people are going to watch because it's do or die. But don't try to stop kids from either working a fast food restaurant or working in the NBA and getting millions. Whether they're getting 15 an hour or they're getting 15 million, let them have an opportunity to make their own choice. And regardless if the person has a degree or not, shouldn't really matter. That should be something that an requirement that the NBA, and the NBA does have a requirement. They require that their agents be registered. They don't have to have a degree to be an agent. They just got to be registered and certified that this person, John Doe, is a certified agent, and he can negotiate its contract. And it's really ridiculous too, because the NBA contract is the same for everybody's. Only thing that differs is the years and the dollar amount.
That's true.
I signed the same contract as Michael Jordan, as LeBron James. It hasn't changed. It's the same contract. Only thing that changes is the years and the numbers. So it's not hard math. It's not like you got to go in there and go, all right, let me look over this. No, take that out. No, it's all the same contract. Everybody gets the same contract.
I might be an agent one day telling me that, baby.
Yeah. Popping the collar. Stop it.
Sorry. Before we let you go, I might have to become a Mavericks fan. You know what I'm saying? Tell me what's going to happen in this next season. What do we have to look forward to?
Please become a Maverick fan. I mean, first things first, we got to salute the great German, Dirk Nowitzki, going out like he's supposed to. I mean, doing what he did. He's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Probably, he's one of the top, if not the top 5 players in his position, without a doubt. And obviously, I think that it's a tough struggle between Akeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan, and Dirk for, being a guy who wasn't born in the United States and being the best player to ever, be. Obviously, Tim Duncan with 5 championships exceeds that, and Olajuwon with his MVPs and his 2 championships But as far as, changing the game, look at Kevin Durant and LeBron. They're all doing, not only were they doing the dream shake, but they're doing the Dirk fade, the kick fade. He's changed the game. He stretched this game out. And he also, to all you young players that may be watching this, he also changed the way that you're supposed to conduct yourself with the, I was with Dallas when he came in. There's no posses. It's no, this guy got to hang, these no hang-ons. He practiced 3 times a day, whether we had a game or not. No complaints, extra workouts, on and on and on. I can go on to all the stuff that he's hurting, he's exhausted. He sits down, signs autographs for hours for people who mail stuff in. Wow. I mean, his foundation, unbelievable. So he set the precedent for a lot of things for guys to go, and that's when the shift changed. Like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I heard Raja Bell talk about this in his interview about, these players that are good, like for instance, Carmelo was going through it and Allen Iverson went through it. But they have an opportunity to have a young player like Dirk when he's 18, 19 years old to lead that franchise for 20 years. Do you pass up on that, or do you try to get something short with a Carmelo and an Allen Iverson? You can't do that. This is a business. You got to remember that. So that longevity of a Dirk, longevity of a Tim Duncan, you got to go with that. And these high-ranked players that are coming up late in their years, they got to understand that. And they got to come into a program. Raja said it. They got to come into a program knowing, like, hey, you can't fight Dirk for minutes. You can't fight Tim Duncan for minutes. You can compete with him, but you can't bitch and complain when you're not playing. We want this kid to play because he's going to give us 20 years. You're going to give us maybe 2 seasons. Yes, you may win a championship, but 20 years of what Dirk has done is just a model citizen, clean nose, does any and everything that the organization was asking to do. And as far as a business standpoint, they want to go for that. So that's my play on Dirk. But we got a young kid that just replaced him named Luka Doncic. Unbelievable. He's got that old man game. And Court, you know what I'm talking about. He got an old man game to him. He got an old man swag to him. He's very young, just turned 19. He started when he was 18. And then we got another a big guy that was in New York. Things didn't work out for him in New York. And Kristaps Porzingis. I know you guys remember Jalen Brunson, 2-time national champion for the Villanova Wildcats. He's coming back next year. So, it's the West is really tough. Zion and what Paul George and the move by Houston. Also Kawhi coming to the Clippers. It's going to be very difficult. Sacramento's up and coming too as well. But we got 3 guys of our own that are pretty decent and going to shake some things up. Luka was Rookie of the Year this year, and he's just going to keep getting better. Knock on wood, no more injuries between any of those guys. And Mark Cuban is really slowly putting himself back in a position to try to win another championship.
Y'all going to be tough.
So I'm going to watch basketball all season, Courtney, and we're going to keep up, and I'm going to be wearing Maverick shirts and stuff, okay?
That's right.
Good.
Cedric has sold me. I'll be a Magic fan.
Good.
Thank you so much for coming and visiting Cherie's World and letting us keep you up late. We've had you on forever. It is like a living legend has really graced Cherie's
It's you.
No problem. Hey, Shot-Town, appreciate you hanging out with me, man. Great questions too, bro.
Man, I got like 30 more. I'll save them though.
Okay.
Hopefully we can get Cedric back. You know what I'm saying? After the season, I can teach him all that I learned about basketball. And he'll let us know what else he's got going on next year, because there's always something new with him, and I love that. You just
got to keep going. Got to keep going. We got to save this water first. Right now, most importantly, we're trying to save this water. And don't download the app, the Quick app, GWIC. That's right. Gwick, G-W-I-C-K. G-W-I-C-K. It's at your App Store, Apple Store, or whatever you get it. Go get it. And it's a fun opportunity for you to save those cards that's been in the drawer and also add some fun to it, some personal stuff to it, instead of going to try to find a card and they be like, where did I get this from? You know, you can put some personality on it.
That's right. We're going to put everything up, but Cherie's World is going to end with a Cedric Ceballos song.
Uh-oh.
We ain't going to play it now. Courtney is going to edit it in. And Cedric is
Okay. Play Handle You, though. Play Handle You. Don't play Flow On. Everybody knows Flow On with me.
Okay.
Play Handle You. Play Handle You. All right.
I'm texting him right now. We putting it on there. Thank you so much, Cedric.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
I really appreciate it.